I refused to pay for my stepkids' college savings after my husband secretly opened accounts using my money. My husband Mike works as a firefighter and I run my own marketing business. I make about 3 times what he makes, which has never been a problem until recently. We've been married for 2 years and he has 2 kids from his first marriage, Alex who's 18 and Sophie who's 15. I came into their lives 3 years ago when they were already pretty grown. They live mostly with their mom and only stay with us a couple weekends a month. Here's the thing about our money situation. We have a joint account for bills where we both put in the same amount every 2 weeks, but our actual expenses are way higher than what Mike can afford to contribute. So whenever the account runs low, I transfer money from my personal account to cover everything. The mortgage, the groceries, the car payments, all of it ends up being mostly paid by me. 6 months ago, I found out Mike had racked up $8,000 in credit card debt, cards I didn't even know existed. When I confronted him, he broke down crying and said he felt guilty about not contributing as much as me. He said he'd been buying stuff for the house and his kids and didn't want me to know he couldn't afford it. I was furious because we had the cash to pay for everything. He just hid it from me instead of being honest. We almost got divorced over it. Then 3 months ago, it happened again. Another $5,000 on a different secret card. Last week, we just had our baby girl, Lily. She's my first and only child because of some health issues I have. I was exhausted from being up all night with her when Mike came into the bedroom with this excited look on his face. He told me he'd been thinking about the kids' futures and wanted to open investment accounts for all 3 of them. My stomach dropped because I knew exactly where this was going. I asked him how much he planned to invest. He said he wanted to put the maximum amount into each account every month. That's when I lost it. Mike, you can't even pay half our bills. Where exactly is this money coming from? He got all defensive and said he made enough money to help his kids. I pointed out that he literally had $10,000 in credit card debt from the last year that I paid off. He tried saying this was different because it was for the children's future. I told him he never opened accounts for Alex and Sophie before, not when they were little, not when he was married to their mom, never. But now that we're married and I have money, suddenly this is so important to him. He said I was being cruel and that I should want to help his kids too. That's when I said it. Your kids have a mother who can save for them. My daughter only has me, and I want every dollar I earn to go to her future, not funding accounts that are really coming out of my pocket anyway. Mike's face went bright red. He accused me of treating his children like they were less important than Lily. I explained that it wasn't about importance. It was about the fact that he was pretending to provide for his kids using money that I would have to cover. If he wants to save for Alex and Sophie, he needs to actually earn enough to do it himself. He stormed out of the room. 20 minutes later, his mom called me screaming about how I was a terrible stepmother. Apparently, Mike had called her crying about how I refused to let him help his own children. The next day, I checked our joint account and saw Mike had transferred $2,000 out. When I asked him about it, he admitted he'd already opened the accounts and made the first deposits. Using money from our joint account that I just refilled the week before, I transferred every penny out of that joint account into my personal account and told him if he wanted to save for his kids, he could do it with his own paycheck. Now he's sleeping on the couch and his whole family is calling me selfish. His sister texted me saying I was punishing innocent children because of my greed. But here's what nobody seems to understand. Mike makes $48,000 a year. Our mortgage alone is $3,600 a month. He cannot afford to save for 3 kids while also pretending to split bills with me 50-50. Every dollar he puts in those accounts is actually my dollar, and I didn't work this hard to build my business just to fund someone else's kids.